A 50-year run in Springfield is about to end. Michael Madigan lost his grip on the Speaker's gavel earlier this year, and now he says he'll give up his House seat at the end of the month. Big story here in Illinois. Good afternoon to you. I'm Lourdes Duarte.
And I'm Ben Bradley. Thanks for joining us. It is the end of an era in state politics, but it comes amidst a bribery scandal connected to Madigan and his minions.
WGN's Mike Lowe has that story.
Michael Madigan's political fortunes began to turn as a federal investigation of State House bribery implicated him, raising questions about ethics, lobbying practices, and influence peddling. He has not been charged with wrongdoing and says he is innocent, but the scandal left him weakened to the point that he lost his grip on the speakership. He was blamed for Democratic Party election losses, and now, after 50 years in office, he's decided to call it quits. In a written statement, the 78-year-old lawmaker said, "Today I am announcing that I will resign as state representative of the 22nd District at the end of the month." The 14-paragraph statement recounted a handful of his political triumphs, from passing same-sex marriage to abolishing the death penalty and increasing the minimum wage. But the statement made only glancing reference to critics who have criticized him as corrupt. Quote, "It's no secret that I have been the target of vicious attacks by people who sought to diminish my many achievements lifting up the working people of Illinois. The fact is, my motivation for holding elected office has never wavered. I have been resolute in my dedication to public service and integrity, always acting in the interest of the people of Illinois." The announcement brought reaction from across the political landscape. Governor J.B. Pritzker came to praise, not to bury, the humbled former speaker.
I wish Chairman Madigan, former Rep Madigan, former Speaker Madigan well. I mean, one thing I will say is that when you serve as long and in as dedicated a fashion in terms of just the number of hours that the man put into the job, his family can really suffer. It's a challenge for the spouses and children and grandchildren of somebody who's put that much into public service. And I really just want to call them out today and say they really deserve kudos for, the public service that former Speaker Madigan did.
His critics in the Republican Party have waited for this day for decades, saying his control of the state legislature led to both political corruption and a fiscal crisis.
For the most part, the Speaker presided over a House of Representatives that has led Illinois to have the lowest credit rating of any state in the country, the highest level of unfunded pension liabilities, unpaid bills, a number of unbalanced budgets. And it's a state, Illinois right now is a state where people are leaving. Our population is declining.
The new Illinois House Speaker posted a written statement on Twitter that thanked Madigan for his public service and his achievements, saying, quote, "Now we must build on that with a new generation of leadership focused on racial and gender equity in all dimensions, improving government transparency, and leading with the kind of conviction, compassion, and cooperation expected by our constituents."
And that was Mike Lowe reporting. WGN Investigates has been looking into the taxpayer-funded benefits that Illinois' longest-serving politician stands to gain. Madigan is eligible to collect at least $7,100 per month, or just over $85,000 a year, according to state pension records we obtained. The amount is based on his salary and years in office and could increase if Madigan's other years of government service are included. And let's not forget, Madigan continues to run an extremely lucrative private law practice that handles property tax appeals.